Risk assessment by Simple Security. In this video, we will be covering risk assessments, risk identification, technical and non-technical risks, as well as the conclusion. Risk assessment. It is done after identifying risks, and it's used to determine the likelihood and the severity. ARO, or annual rate of occurrence, is a value specified for how often this risk is expected to occur. The single loss expectancy is the dollar amount for damages which we expect to occur as a result of this risk. Multiplying the annual rate of occurrence by the single loss expectancy will give us an annual loss expectancy. That's a quantitative value which we may use to evaluate the cost of a control versus the benefits of a control. Risk assessments quantitatively and qualitatively evaluate risk. Quantitative values would be an example of $100. Qualitative values would be a depreciated customer perception of the business. Risk identification. This is done through vulnerability analysis. Vulnerability analysis involves the use of tools to identify known software vulnerabilities. Additionally, you can evaluate the business process to see where there is room for error and/or attack. Risk identification. We want to know if this risk will affect a critical business function. If so, how bad, and can we mitigate it? If we are able to mitigate it, we will want to know the cost of this risk and the cost of the control in order to mitigate this risk. If the cost of the control is greater than the cost of the risk, the organization will generally accept the risk, knowing that it is less costly than the control to mitigate it. Risks are not only technical. They could be non-technical as well. The human factor is one of the greatest risks in IT infrastructures. Humans are generally trusting and are very error-prone. Environmental factors. Say you have a data center stored in one building. Your backups should be stored in another building in the event that an environmental disaster affects your primary data center. Risks can also be unforeseen. There's no way to calculate every risk impacting an organization. In conclusion, risk assessment identifies risks which may be contained in the risk management plan. You should plan to continually identify and find new risks, and you should be inspired to think outside the box.